Welcome everyone, welcome to Apple Insider. It is Andrew here. You can find me on the tweeters at Andrew_OSU. And if you guys have been paying attention to the channel for a while, I'm a fan of Brydge. The Brydge keyboards for the iPad, I love them. They are, in my opinion, the most premium alternative to Apple's own hardware. And they usually come with, like, they're expensive, but they're less than Apple. So it's kind of like a middle ground of, like, giving you a good, solid premium product without Apple's price tags. I know a lot of people who love the Magic Keyboard for the iPad, but are really put off by that massive price tag that Apple stuck on it. So I've gone with them. I've recommended them quite a bit. So I was really stoked when I found out that they were releasing an updated version of their iPad Pro keyboard with really two massive changes. One, they were ditching their hinges. I mean, if you followed Brydge, you know their hinges are like their thing. Like those things that's like what they're known for. So to ditch those, big deal. The other massive change is a massive trackpad. They are dropping a huge trackpad onto their latest device. So a lot of reasons to get excited. I mean, those are the two biggest things, but there are a few other changes as well in there. So I got a mole inside of Brydge to sneak out an advanced unit. I'm kidding. You guys know that's a bunch of BS. Brydge just sent me one to show off to you guys ahead of time. And, we're going to give you guys an honest look at this new device. I am pretty excited by this because this is literally, like, this is a MacBook Pro. It's like a 13-inch MacBook Pro. Come on. Look at the size of this trackpad. Can you not be excited by this? It's an aluminum body, massive glass trackpad here. Like, this is legit some cool stuff to get excited about. So we're going to dig in. We're going to talk about this guy. So this is it. Your first look at the Brydge 12.9 Max Plus Brydge keyboard trackpad combo guy. Let's check it out. So to clear things up first, this is not a production level unit. This is a engineering verification test unit, not a real device. And there are a few changes that are going to be on here compared to what you guys would get if you went and ordered one. There's a couple like minor things, like there's going to be like the Brydge logo stamped on the back of this. It's going to be a little bit lighter than it is now and the one that I'm using, and it's going to be a little bit more rigid. There's kind of a little bit of a squishiness in the middle of the keyboard just from what's in the core of this thing, and the final production units are going to clear all those issues up. So I did notice them. I do want to mention them to you that I saw them here in this unit that I'm testing, but they're not going to be in the final product. But as far as what is legit and what's real is everything else. And this thing is fantastic to use. Using a giant trackpad like this on an iPad is sublime. It makes things so much easier. And there's like a lot of different things where I get even frustrated with Apple's Magic Keyboard because it's a little bit of a smaller trackpad. It's a little tight, and I'm used to Apple's giant brick of a trackpad it has for the Mac, and even what they have on their MacBook Pros are huge. And it feels cramped on the iPad. Brydge's Pro Plus models and Apple's model, they feel a little cramped when I'm trying to like drag and drop is a good example. I have files open in one spot and like a photo edit or something open the other. I'm trying to drag files in between, and I'm kind of like, I move my stuff to the side and I don't have enough space I hit the edge of the trackpad, and I've ran into issues like that kind of on a regular basis. And man, are those not issues at all with a trackpad this size. It's truly lovely. A few other things just to note. So it is a multi-touch trackpad, so it's big, gorgeous. You can use multiple fingers, so you can pinch, pull, zoom, rotate, all that kind of cool stuff that you can do with multi-touch, thanks to the recent updates to Brydge and things Apple's done with iOS, like just all really good changes that have improved this experience. Now, it does connect still over Bluetooth, so that's still the same. And honestly, there's still just these times where there's a little bit of lag in the cursor. It's so much better than it was before, but when you saw my hands on with the new beta Brydge firmware, you could see how smooth it was, and I'm still seeing that here. I mean, it's generally much smoother than it was. It's totally usable, more than usable. It's really good, but there's just like a couple times where I like stagger a little bit, just really minor kind of fluctuations like that, and I feel like that's kind of the difference like a third party versus a first party solution. You know, Apple can just make their stuff super smooth, but they're also doing over hardware connection versus Bluetooth, and doing this with a Bluetooth connection and on iPad OS is just, this is about as good as I have seen it get from any third party product for the iPad. Typing on here is pretty smooth. It's the same general kind of feel in the keys. I do notice I think these are a little clickier than the normal Brydge keys. There's a little bit more of a tactile like snap at the bottom. Like you can feel where it's like kind of connecting and clicking. It feels more pronounced in this new Max version than the other Brydge keyboards. So I'm not certain if anything has really changed there, but it feels a little snappier on those clicks. So I do prefer the feel of this guy compared to previous versions of the Brydge keyboards that I've used. A bunch of the Brydge stuff is usually here, so you got USB-C on the side to charge this thing up. It has backlit keys. You can adjust the brightness. There's like the keys right there on your the keyboard, like the shortcut function key, function row at the top, so you guys can use those. There's also this really neat feature. This is a really slick thing that they did. So one of the early problems with the Brydge keyboards was you'd go to try to wake them up after even like a few minutes, and you'd have to like double tap the keyboard because they have one to wake it and like it had to connect, and the second one would like wake your iPad. Kind of weird stuff like that. This guy, it almost just stays like this all the time. It's almost like perpetually connected. And I guess there's like a 4-hour window where it puts the keyboard into this ultra low power state, but still keeps an active connection with your iPad. So as you put your iPad to sleep, it's sitting on your desk, you go to lunch or something, you come back, this is still connected. So I can just tap the trackpad or the keyboard once and it just wakes up and springs to life. So it's a huge improvement over what we saw before. And I guess this is also coming to the 10.2 Max keyboard, the one for just the standard iPad. So that feature's coming to that one as well. But I really like it. I really dig it. It definitely makes a big difference when using this thing. One of my biggest annoyances with a Bluetooth product versus something that is actually hardwired in or using the smart connector. So let's talk about the hinge and the new design here. There's a few changes, obviously, compared to regular Brydge keyboard. So you can see we have this back cover. Before, they had a back cover and just magnetically connected, but now it's like legit part of the thing itself. It's the actual hinge, and it creates a much more polished, finished, full, one product. And I also like this. Look, just 2 fingers, and I can lift it up. Boom. It's almost like a flipping MacBook. I mean, it's really cool how nice and smooth that is. Like, again, we're just going to close it like a Mac, just fingers on the side. There's like these little lips that come out, and I can grab them, open it up, and just pull forward. Now, the balance isn't as perfect as Apple's, where I can like just hold it one-handed or one finger and lift it, but it's still smooth enough that I can easily lift it up and go. So it's really cool that way. And because of those like little lips down the side, that's how you can remove your iPad too. So I can just push forward with the thumb, boop, 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 on the lip, and pull forward with my iPad on the other, and it separates the two. And there we go, and my iPad's free. And I did that one-handed, like not an issue, guys. One-handed, and I can put the bottom in and put it back. There we go, magnetically in place. And of course, it goes to sleep automatically when I close it. So some cool stuff here. I really like this new hinge. It's much sleeker, smoother. There's no bumps or lumps that you're gonna find like in your bag that we saw like the regular Brydge keyboard. So I definitely prefer this new hinge style than the other one. That said, it does give a little bit more thickness to the overall package because you have this extra plate along the back. So a little more thickness to your iPad Pro when it is mounted here. But otherwise, this is the closest I've ever seen this guy get to a legit MacBook Pro. This is about what you're gonna get. If you try to do a lot of work on your iPad, if you wanna be as productive as possible, it's really helpful to have a trackpad on your device. This is probably the coolest trackpad I've seen yet for the iPad. Even cooler than Apple's because of how large this thing truly is. Yes, there are a couple like nagging Bluetooth issues, but they keep getting cleared up. Brydge has been pushing out continuous updates to its beta for existing Pro Plus users, and for this guy, I mean, this isn't even shipping yet. This ships soon, and it's already super smooth. So I cannot wait to see what Brydge does and any changes, iPad OS, that are just going to make any of these experiences even better for you. So if you guys want to grab one, they're going to be up for pre-order soon. They may be up already, but I don't know. But if you want, of course, I put the link down below in the description. So check it out and then let me know what you guys think over on Twitter at Andrew_OSU. Do you prefer the Magic Keyboard, or are you going to check out the Brydge Pro, or the Brydge, I can't even think of my names, guys. The Brydge 12.2 Max. This is for the 12.9 inch iPad Pro, so remember that. But the 11 inch is coming. Don't comment me. The 11 inch is coming. They're launching with the 12.9 first. The Brydge 12.9 Max plus keyboard trackpad combo for the iPad Pro. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next video.